Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. On WWE Raw, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair were busy with each other after they interrupted Io Sky's promo segment, where she was celebrating becoming the new Women's World Champion. She defeated Ripley to do so, but the former champion blamed Belair's interference for it, and the two were at loggerheads. They even pushed Sky away, overlooking her, which led to the frustrated champion finally having enough and throwing hands. She slapped Ripley across the face, shocking her, and then continued by punching Belair and knocking her down. Since then, Belair and Ripley have been taking shots at each other on social media, and Sky has demanded that they stop. Tension has been between the two friends, and Ripley clearly feels bad about it, as she's now issued an apology. The two have not been on the best terms, and the tone of the apology seems to indicate that the star is trying to mitigate the tension. Rhea Ripley appears to be rolling her eyes in the apology, but clearly she means it as well, given that the star is friends with Io Sky, and the star was legitimately upset with her and Bianca Belair on WWE Raw this week. She and Sky are friends, given their long history, and the star is potentially also looking to set things right after Raw. Thus, even if the tone says otherwise, the message is probably sincere, with the star worrying about what Sky thinks. With Belair set to challenge Sky at WrestleMania, it remains to be seen if Ripley will also get involved in the match. Both stars have something of a claim, and at least the feud between Belair and Ripley has gotten heated. Io Sky is also tired of being ignored and overlooked despite being the champion. This became even more evident in her actions on Raw this week. Now, Adam Pearce must book the match between the three stars. All three are involved in an intriguing story and are immensely over with the fans. In the world of professional wrestling, the lines between reality and fiction often blur, but every once in a while, an emotional moment breaks through that touches fans on a deeper level. Rhea Ripley, one of WWE's most dominant and controversial superstars, is no stranger to making waves. Known for her ruthless in-ring style, unrelenting attitude, and fearless persona, Ripley has garnered a significant following, while also stepping on some toes along the way. Her rise to the top of the WWE Women's division has been a triumph. But what if one moment, one incident, led to her issuing a heartfelt and unexpected apology? What could prompt someone as strong, confident, and self-assured as Ripley to apologize? Could it be an act of humility or a personal revelation that shifts her perspective? Let's dive into the creative journey of how Rhea Ripley's apology could unfold and why it would resonate with fans. Rhea Ripley's career has been built on dominating her opponents with an intensity that few can match. From her time in NXT, where she captured the NXT Women's Championship, to her transition to the main roster where she became the Raw Women's Champion, Ripley has been portrayed as a force to be reckoned with. Her membership in the Judgment Day faction, alongside Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio, has only amplified her status as a powerhouse in WWE. Yet, as with any story arc, there are moments when even the most unyielding individuals are forced to pause, reflect, and consider their actions. The catalyst for Ripley's apology comes after a heated altercation with an up-and-coming superstar, someone who represents the future of the women's division. This young wrestler, full of passion and hunger for success, challenges Ripley in a high-stakes match. Ripley, accustomed to being in control, underestimates the newcomer's resilience. In the midst of their match, an intense, unforgiving moment takes place. Ripley crosses a line that she later regrets. Perhaps it's an instance of overzealous aggression, an unnecessary insult, or a moment where her actions come across as dismissive or disrespectful. The aftermath of the match is critical. While Ripley technically wins, the look of disappointment on her face tells a different story. She realizes that her actions were not only uncalled for, but also detrimental to the very culture of respect that the WWE locker room has always upheld. In the following days, the incident becomes a talking point. Fans and superstars alike begin to voice their opinions, with some expressing admiration for Ripley's hard-hitting approach, while others criticize her for going too far. For Ripley, this feedback hits harder than any opponent could. The stage is set for Ripley to take the next step in her character evolution, an apology. But this is no ordinary apology. In a world where superstars often let their pride dictate their actions, Ripley chooses to take the higher road. It's a moment of vulnerability that few fans expect from a superstar with her reputation. To make the apology resonate, it needs to be personal, genuine, and above all, sincere. Ripley takes to the mic on Raw, the stage that has seen her at her most dominant. The Judgment Day's usual entrance is interrupted by a rare, somber moment. Ripley steps into the ring alone. For the first time in a long while, the self-assured champion isn't accompanied by her faction. The fans are curious, wondering what this new side of Ripley will look like. She stands in the center of the ring, her usual confident demeanor replaced by a more contemplative expression. There's an air of seriousness as she begins to speak. For those of you who know me, you know I've always been about power, about showing that I'm the best, and that no one can touch me. But sometimes, in the pursuit of being the best, you forget what that really means. You forget what it takes to get there. You forget the people who helped you along the way, and the people you're fighting for. The crowd is quiet, hanging on every word. This isn't the cocky, brash Ripley they're used to seeing. This is someone who's self-aware, acknowledging that even she isn't perfect. I've made a lot of enemies in this business, and I've always been okay with that. But what happened in that match was not just about competition. It was about respect, and I lost sight of that. I lost sight of what it means to be a true champion and role model for those who look up to me. To that young talent I hurt, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that. I know I could be better than that, and I will be better than that. There's a rawness in her voice that the audience hasn't heard before. Ripley's prideful, bold exterior is cracked open for just a moment, and in its place is a newfound sense of humility. And to everyone in that locker room who has ever felt overlooked, disrespected, or overshadowed by me, I owe you all an apology. The path I've carved in this industry isn't just about me. It's about all of us who push ourselves to be great. And for anyone who has felt that I've taken that greatness for granted, I promise to do better. The crowd, initially uncertain about Ripley's sincerity, begins to rally behind her. The emotional weight of her words carries a lot of power. It's clear that this isn't an apology made for show. This is a genuine moment of reflection. Ripley continues, her voice steady but with an edge of resolve. I'm not here to apologize for my victories or my drive to be the best. That will never change. But I will apologize for how I've treated others along the way. In this business, respect is everything, and I need to show more of it, not just to the fans, but to my peers. I'm going to do better. The reaction from the WWE Universe is overwhelmingly positive. Fans respect Ripley for showing vulnerability, for admitting her shortcomings, and for taking responsibility for her actions. It's a powerful moment of growth for someone who has long been known for her domineering attitude and fierce nature. Her apology is more than just words, it's a turning point in her character arc. In the weeks that follow, Ripley's actions speak louder than her words. She continues to dominate in the ring, but there's a subtle shift in her demeanor. She respects her opponents more, and her matches are no longer just about showing her superiority. They're about elevating the competition and proving that she is a true champion. Ripley also reaches out to the young talent she had wronged, offering guidance and mentorship. This gesture isn't lost on the WWE locker room, and it earns her a level of respect she hadn't fully realized she'd been missing. As Ripley's character evolves, her apology becomes a defining moment in her journey. Fans, who once saw her as a villain, now view her as a more complex, multifaceted figure. She remains a powerhouse, but her newfound humility makes her even more compelling. Ripley's apology doesn't just mark the end of one chapter. It sets the stage for a new, more balanced chapter in her career. A chapter where she can be the dominant force she's always been, but also a leader who understands the value of respect and camaraderie. Rhea Ripley's apology is not just an emotional moment in her career. It's a turning point that showcases the depth and complexity of her character. It marks her evolution from an unrelenting force to a more thoughtful and self-aware champion. In the world of professional wrestling, where bravado often outweighs vulnerability, Ripley's apology sets her apart, making her not just a powerhouse in the ring, but a role model for others.